For decades, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Have been undisputed top 3 TCGs. But is this long-standing trio about to face a shakeup? Before we dive into the analysis, let's briefly introduce our challenger. The One Piece card game, a new TCG launched by Bandai based on the iconic One Piece series. Today, we're going to spend some time crunching the numbers and find out where One Piece card game stands, and if it has the potential to be a disruptor to the current top 3. Hello and welcome folks, I'm Skulls. For a while now in the One Piece card game community, I have been hearing a lot of people questioning the future, and I am the same. I know that OPCG is doing great, has a lot of events, always filled with people, running out of tickets, card prices are all shooting up, but is it really comparable to the top 3 TCGs? Let's try to figure that out. To get a clear picture, we're going to analyze the standings of these TCG giants based on few key indicators: sales data, changes in secondary market prices, grading submissions, and trends in Google searches. Now, before we continue, I have to flag that the data in the TCG space is extremely limited, especially when trying to make direct comparisons. However, I've collected as much information as possible to give us a big picture of where things stand in 2023. First up, let's look at the sales data. We are using data from ICV2 site, which ranks sealed products based on sales measured by dollar volume according to TCG Player. Dollar volume simply refers to the total value of the product sold, which is price times volume. Since the site doesn't actually give us the actual figures in sales, we will have to come up with some educated assumptions to make the comparison reasonable. Given OPCG recent introduction and limited product range, I have simplified the analysis by tracking the top 2 products from each of the 4 major TCGs since OPCG's launch in December 2022, assigning ranking points based on their monthly position. Rank 1 gets 8, Rank 2 gets 7 points, and so on. I have collected the rankings from December 2022 to October 2023, and this is how it looks like. I have highlighted One Piece in green. What is worth mentioning here is that OPCG ranked number 1 when the first box was launched, and then 10 months later, OPCG ranked number 1 again with its OP04. It's one thing for the initial launch of a card game to attract a lot of interest from fans, and quite another to still be commanding the top spot in sales almost a year later. Now, let's look at the result. Based on the 11 months, we can see that MTG ranks at the top with solid total points of 141, whereas Pokemon ranks second at 108 points. These points show that MTG and Pokemon are indeed holding their titles of top 3. Ranked third, we are seeing OPCG with total points of 76, slightly beating Yu-Gi-Oh! By 5 points in top 2 product sales ranking. At this point, you can argue that this analysis doesn't take into account sales of all the TCG products, and it is a valid point. I intentionally picked only the top 2 products of each TCG to ensure a fair comparison for OPCG, which had only Romance Dawn in December 2022. If you include all products of the TCGs, there is no doubt Yu-Gi-Oh! Will rank number 3. However, it won't be a fair comparison. Moving to the secondary market. This is pretty tricky as well, since while I do know that the OPCG booster box costs around $100 MSRP, I don't know what is the MSRP of each product from the other TCGs. For this analysis, I will use data from TCG Player to measure the growth of these products from their lowest point starting December 2022, comparing that to their current market prices. And I am only picking products launched around the same time as OP01. Using these assumptions, OPCG stands out in terms of growth in secondary prices, with a 350% gain on Romance Dawn boxes and 170% gain on Paramount War boxes. Pokemon's Crown Zenith did well at 51% gain, and Yu-Gi-Oh's Photon Hypernova gained around 31%. Other products, especially from MTG, they are all in downtrend. Here, you can argue that One Piece Romance Dawn has an advantage of being the first box, which usually gains the most popularity. This is definitely a valid point, but even if you exclude the first box from the analysis, the second OPCG box, Paramount War, still has all the other products from all TCGs beat. You can also say that the other boxes are trending down because the initial hype was too strong, causing a one-way downtrend after the launch. Here, I would like to flag that OPCG boxes was extremely hyped from the beginning as well. Boxes were reprinted in multiple waves throughout the year, causing fluctuations in prices, and yet they still ended up this high after 11 months, proving the solid demand of OPCG boxes. Now, let's look at grading submissions. Grading submissions can give us a pretty good idea of which TCGs are seeing the most collector interest and potential value appreciation. I have gathered grading data for cards launched in 2023 from Beckett and PSA. And here is what the data shows. Apparently, Pokemon is way ahead in terms of volume, with almost 700,000 cards being graded this year. And this number doesn't even include all the cards launched in the previous years but are sent for grading this year. So the actual number should be even more impressive. Then, ranked number 2, we have OPCG with almost 40,000 cards graded, Yu-Gi-Oh! At 20,000 cards graded, and finally MTG at less than 6,000 cards graded. Combining the information gathered for MTG with high sales and low grading submissions, we can somehow deduce that MTG might have the largest player base, whereas Pokemon has the biggest collecting community. Pretty interesting, isn't it? Lastly, let's touch on Google Trends. Google Trend basically gives us the number of times the TCG was searched or mentioned throughout the year. Pokemon, MTG, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Definitely have the advantage of a longer history. However, you can see that OPCG is leading when it comes to purely growth in interest over time, which is at 18%, highest among the four. So, what's the takeaway here? Based on the limited data here, I don't think it is wise to conclude that OPCG is currently among the top 3 TCGs. However, in 2023 at least, OPCG did rank 3rd on sales, 1st on secondary market prices growth, 2nd on grading submissions, and 1st on growth in interest, beating Yu-Gi-Oh! On all fronts. This ranking doesn't even include OPCG's OPO5, which will be launched early December and will most likely cause OPCG to rank 1st again for the month on ICV2 site. Historically, ICV2 rankings have been dominated by MTG, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh! For many years. OPCG consistent inclusion in 2023 signals its entry into at least the top 4, which is a significant indicator. And it is safe to crown OPCG as the new top 3 TCG, beating Yu-Gi-Oh! At least for the year of 2023. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, I encourage healthy debate in the comments. Agree or disagree, let's have a chat about it. Don't forget to hit subscribe for more OPCG insights, and for OPCG deals, check out strawheadloose.com. Until next time, happy investing!